Good morning, all of you. I am Assistant Professor Dr. Priyamvada Bhatt. Let us start today the second part of our lesson Education Provides a Solid Foundation by APJ Abdul Kalam, the Missile Man of India. By the time I completed my education at Swartz, I was confident and determined to succeed. The decision to study further was taken without a second thought. The nearest college was St. Joseph's at Tiruchirappalli, a town more easily identified by its shortened name Trichy. Then APJ went to take the higher education and he took admission in the college, St. Joseph's College at Trichy. In 1950, I arrived at St. Joseph's College to study for the intermediate examination. I was not a bright student in terms of examination grades, but thanks to my friends back in Rameshwaram, I had acquired a practical bent of mind. Writer says that though he was not an intelligent or a clever student from the point of view of grades or numbers or marks, but he gave thanks to his friends in Rameshwaram that because of their friendship, whatever the qualities they had, they also taught Dr. APJ a practical bent of mind. My good fortune with teachers continued at St. Joseph's College. Reverend Father T.N. Sequeria taught us English and was also our hostel warden. We were about 100 boys living in the 3-storied hostel building, and Father Sequeria's energy and patience was amazing. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam thought himself very lucky that from the very beginning of his education, from the primary school, he got very intelligent, very caring and very loving, kind-hearted teachers who taught him a lot and who had the lion's share in the successful career of Dr. APJ. He told that in St. Joseph's College also he got one warden, one teacher, and his name was Reverend Father T.N. Sequeria. T.N. Sequeria, Father Sequeria was really very also again kind-hearted person and very energetic person, and his patience was great. He was very considerate. The writer says that his patience was great because he was handling the 100 boys in the boys hostel. He was very considerate, taking care of the smallest requirements of his students. He was a very considerate and loving person. He was very caring person, and patiently he was taking care of his students. I stayed on St. Joseph's campus for 4 years. I had 2 roommates, one an Orthodox Iyengar Brahmin from Sri Rangam and the other a Syrian Christian from Kerala. And then the APJ stayed in the campus of St. Joseph's College for 4 years. Then in the hostel he had 2 roommates. One was Hindu, Orthodox Iyengar Brahmin, and second was a Syrian Christian from Kerala. The 3 of us had a wonderful time together. I vividly remember an incident from those days. APJ enjoyed a lot in hostel. We had invited our Catholic rector, Reverend Father Kalathil, for lunch one Sunday. APJ remembered one incident that on one Sunday, 3 of them invited one of their professors, Reverend Father Kalathil. He was a rector of that hostel also. The menu included choice preparations from our diverse backgrounds. The result was rather unexpected, and the rector was lavish in his praise. We enjoyed every moment with Father Kalathil, who participated in our unsophisticated conversation with enthusiasm. And APJ says that Father Kalathil, he enjoyed greatly the company of the author and his 2 roommates. 3 of them made different dishes from their own cultural background, and the lunch was great. When I was in my final year at St. Joseph's, I acquired a taste for English literature and philosophy. I began to read the great classics Tolstoy, Scott, and Hardy were special favorites, even though it was not easy to relate their exotic setting. It was also around this time that I developed a keen interest in physics. Writer says that he developed interest in English literature. Tolstoy, Scott, and Hardy were his favorite, and he also started liking physics. After my intermediate exam, I joined the BSc course at St. Joseph's College. At the time, I had no knowledge of other avenues of higher education or of professional courses, as Dr. APJ did not know what to do after intermediate examination, so that he joined the BSc course. It was only after I passed out of college that I realized that physics, though fascinating, was not my subject. And after taking BSc degree, the writer came to know or realized that physics was not his subject, or physics was not the subject in which he wanted to make his career. I needed to take up engineering to realize my dreams. Whatever the dreams of Dr. APJ, those dreams could be only realized, only practically be achieved with the help of engineering studies, and should have done this straight after the intermediate exam. And writer says that he could did the engineering course only after the intermediate examination, and he did not need to do the BSc degree, but he did not know anything, and so that these 4 years actually it was his loss. Those years went in vain. Better late than never. He thought that better late than never. I decided. I applied for admission at the Madras Institute of Technology, MIT, at that time, and even now among the best places for technical education in India. He took admission in MIT. I managed to get on the list of selected candidates, but admission to the prestigious institution was an expensive affair. The fee was so high that Dr. APJ could not pay it. Around 1,000 rupees were required, a huge amount in those days, and a sum my father could not spare. The writer was very poor, and so that he could not pay such high fees. Zohra mortgaged her gold bangles and chain in order to help me. But now his sister came forward. Zohra, she mortgaged her gold bangles and chain in order to help the writer to take his further education. I was deeply touched by her determination to see me educated. She wanted that her really clever brother, he should take his education, he should fulfill his dreams, and so that she mortgaged her gold and gave the money to the writer to take admission and to complete his education. The writer was deeply touched by this. I promised myself that I would redeem her bangles as soon as possible with my own earnings, and at that moment writer decided that he would redeem her bangles as soon as possible and with his own earnings. The only way to do that was to study hard and get a scholarship. I went at my studies determined to do well, and in this way though his determination was great, but again he determined greatly to do well in the studies and to earn scholarship, and so that he could redeem back the bangles or the gold of his sister. In the years I spent at MIT, my curiosity was aroused by 2 decommissioned aircraft which were kept on display to demonstrate the various subsystems of flying machines. Now, in the campus of his MIT college or MIT institute, the 2 decommissioned aircraft were kept only to display the students of engineering, so that they could observe the various different subsystems of that machine. I felt strange attraction towards them, and would sit near them long after the other students had gone back to the hostel. And Dr. APJ felt very strange attraction for those machines, for those flying machines, for those aircrafts, and he used to observe those machines, flying machines or those aircrafts for hours together. I had always admired the human will to fly. After completing my first year, when I had to opt for a specific branch, I almost spontaneously chose aeronautical engineering. And when, after successfully completing his first year at engineering at MIT, he spontaneously chose aeronautical engineering as a special branch. My goal was very clear now. I was going to fly aircraft, and his aim was to fly in the sky, to fly the aircraft in the sky, to prepare the aircraft for India, and this his dream was now going to fulfill. In the course of my education at MIT, three teachers shaped my thinking. Again, here in MIT also, Dr. APJ was lucky. He got three such teachers, three such professors who really helped him kind-heartedly, who taught him each and everything in aeronautical engineering, and they contributed a great in his successful career. Their instruction formed the foundation on which I later built my professional career. Professors, number 1, Professor Sponder, Professor K.A.V. Pandalai, and Professor Narsimha Rao were distinct personalities, different in many ways but sharing a common trait: the capacity to feed their students' intellectual hunger with brilliance and untiring zeal. Now again, Dr. APJ was lucky enough to get such brilliant teachers, such intelligent teachers, and they were Professor Sponder, Professor Pandalai, and Professor Narsimha Rao. Professor Sponder taught me technical aerodynamics. He was an Austrian with immense practical experience in aeronautical engineering. Professor Sponder was an Austrian person with a practical experience in aeronautical engineering. He taught technical aerodynamics. During World War II, he had been imprisoned in a concentration camp by the Nazis. Since that horrific experience, he had developed a strong aversion to all Germans, even those who had not supported the Nazi party during the war, and it was but natural. Incidentally, a German, Professor Walter Repentin, headed the aeronautics department. Another well-known professor in the department was Dr. Kurt Tank, a distinguished aeronautical engineer who had designed the German Focke-Wulf FW-190, a single-seater fighter plane and an outstanding combat aircraft of World War II. Dr. Tank later joined Hindustan Aeronautics Limited in Bangalore and designed India's first jet fighter, the HF-24 Marut. Such were the professors the writer got. Such clever, such intelligent, and such practically experienced people were teaching him aeronautical engineering. Professor Sponder learned to work with his German colleagues despite his differences. Such great were those personalities. He was always calm, energetic, and in control of himself. Though Sponder did not like the German people because of his personal experiences, but he learned to cooperate the German people in his service. He was very calm and energetic person and in control of his own emotions. He kept abreast of the latest technologies and expected his students to do the same. And he loved to be updated in his knowledge. And he also taught his students to be updated, to remain updated, to update their knowledge. I consulted him when I first thought of opting for aeronautical engineering. He told me that one should never worry about one's foundations, but have a sufficient amount of attitude and passion for one's chosen field of study. And then the writer met this Professor Sponder, told him all his background, and told him that he wanted to do the career in aeronautical engineering. Here his Professor Sponder encouraged the writer and told him that there is nothing to do with one's family background, whether it is rich or poor, where that background is educated. In his family educated people are there or non-educated people are there, but one's attitude and passion for the study, passion for one's chosen field, passion for one's own career, these two things are only important, and he can go ahead. The trouble with many students, Professor Sponder observed, was not necessarily a lack of educational opportunities or industrial infrastructure. The trouble was in their failure to choose their field of study with sufficient care. Now Professor Sponder told writer that in the world, the one problem with all the young students is that there was not lack of educational opportunities or industrial infrastructure, but the students, these young students, did not really know the fields, the field of their study, or they did not realize what is their goal in life, and so that they were roaming here and there. Let us stop here.